You know when somebody walks into a room and for some reason everybody just turns to look at them? They've got what you call it. They turn around and say, you know, they've just got it. Well, that's it. It's the X factor. And my fascination with this subject started when I was training executives on public speaking. And as much as I would train them on delivery skills and structure and framework of putting a great presentation together, I kept walking away and realizing that these executives wanted more from me. They wanted to look like Barack Obama on stage. They wanted to look like Nelson Mandela and Steve Jobs. And I went away and thought, what is it that these people have got that make them irresistible to us? So I've spent the last 2 or 3 years looking at what is the X factor in business. And the X factor is executive presence. And it's really interesting because it just seems to get more elusive as you go along. If I said to you, you know the X factor when you see it, don't you? Give me 10 words that describe it. It's a very difficult attribute to define. Executive presence is about how you feel about you. It's about your level of confidence and the confidence that you exude to the rest of the world. And you know what? People turn around to me and say to me, Lynn, just give me executive presence. And the beauty of executive presence is I can't give it to you for all the money in the world, but you can give it to yourself. It's about how you feel about you, but you've got to feel good about yourself. Because once you feel good about yourself, it translates into what we call professional presence, which is how other people then see you and feel about you. My message to you is don't underestimate how people in the corporate environment are judging you all day, every day, based on how you look, how you walk, how you talk, and how you interact with people. And I want to just put here, if you want to have executive presence, start by investing in your image. Now, my son, who's a Y generation kid, okay, he walks around, you know those jeans down here and there's cracks sticking out, okay, and everything. And my son turns around to me and he says to me, you know what, Mom, you dress like a dinosaur. And I go, well, isn't that interesting? You're the one who can't get a job, and I'm the one who's training boards of directors. And what I explained to him is I didn't make the rules in business. The rules are already there. And you either fit in and play by the rules and dress the part, or you don't get to the top. It's your decision. You don't have to. But my one thing I want to say to you is if ever you're going into a meeting, if ever you're standing up on the platform, dress one notch up from the people that you're meeting. Why? Because then you're perceived to be the authority in the room. Okay, that's the best advice I can give you. I'm so scared I'm going to fall off this thing now. All right. I'm going to go through this very quickly. The psychology of color. People don't believe that the psychology of color makes a difference to the perceptions people have of you. Let me tell you something they do, all right? The darker the color that you wear, the more that you're perceived to be an authority. So if you're going into a really important meeting, I'd like to recommend that you wear black. However, if you're going into meetings overseas now, rather go in your grays, because grays are seen to be full of wisdom, professionalism, all that kind of thing. But black is dominant and authoritative. Moving on, look at your blues. Ladies, if you're going into a situation where you're going in for a performance review with your boss, don't go in black and red, okay? And don't go in baby pink.